evening once again. This is your tutor, cpacertification, and today I wanted to take you through the payroll accounting. It is, excuse me, it is a payroll accounting which we are going to look at today, and I hope you know this is under the labor costing, where we compute their salaries and wages. Within this, we expect that there is a very big difference between a payroll accounting and a cost accounting, or a labor costing accounting. The other one of a labor cost statement, the other one is prepared by the cost accountant, but this one is more of the human resource department, whereby it is specifically handling what the employees are going to be earning and their monthly deductions. So when we are looking at the labor costing accounting, we are just looking at the costs only, the amount of money we are paying to the labor force in terms of what they are offering to us. So when you see this, it means we are going to look at the cost, how we can accumulate the costs, and at the same time we look at the monthly deductions which can be deducted on someone's salary. So this is the question. The question says, from the table below, you are required to prepare a payroll for the month of September 2020. They have given us the clock numbers. They have given us the names of the employees. We have the number of workers, the number of hours worked. Those are the, of course, here, if you see the number of workers, you expect that when they are paying, they pay by hourly rate, whereby they pay as per the number of hours someone has worked. We have the standard rate per hour, which is 10,000 per each hour someone offers. Then we have advances. Of course, these advances, you can't fail to find them, because at the end of the month, you find that some people have already taken out some money, or as a prepayment or as payment in advance before they receive the salary. Someone may go and ask for some advance if that person is in need of that. So when they are preparing the final month payroll, we add just that, what we paid, we deduct from what we are supposed to pay, so that will give the employee the amount which is remaining. We accumulate that under those deductions. We deduct from someone's gross pay, and what remains, we submit it. This one comes as a non-statutory deduction. There are statutory deductions as per Uganda Act, that someone who is employed is supposed to pay as you earn. That is an income tax, whereby that money is deducted on someone's salary monthly and submitted to URA. Then there is also contributions that we contribute. Those are the NSSF, the ones we contribute towards our National Social Security Fund, that is deducted, and currently we deduct 5%. when we deduct 5% on our money we are supposed to receive or our salary, then the 10% will be submitted by the employer. In total, we submit 15% to NSSF. The employee contributes 5% and the employer contributes 10%. That's how it is. Those are some of the statutory deductions. Then the other deductions we can talk about, we've talked about the advances. The other one can be in form of, if let's say someone had a loan, a salary loan that is supposed to be deducted through a payroll system whereby they just code it when the money is not directed, when the money is not deducted from the bank and it is deducted at the source. So make sure we adjust those. And those are the things we are going to be talking about as we solve this number. Then we go to this additional information. The additional information part 1 says the normal hours per month, 190 hours, and the overtime pay for extra hour at a rate of 50% above the normal rate. And we know the normal rate was 10,000. So if they are saying that 50% of the normal rate, it means if the other one was 10,000, 10,000 times 5,000, you will get 10,000 times the 50%, we will get 5,000, which 5,000 will be added back the 10,000 to make 15. So the extra hours, that's in terms of overtime, will be paid at 15,000, meaning it is 5%, 50% in excess of the normal rate. The second additional information, it says Odong, Mike, and Yeko Sandra are entitled to housing allowance of shillings 150,000 each, and the rest are entitled to 8,000 per month, meaning it's only Odong, Mike, and Yeko Sandra that are going to be receiving 150. The rest are going to be receiving 50,000, sorry, 80,000 per month in terms of the housing allowances. These allowances, these are the amount of money that is paid above the basic salary. Someone may be earning, let's say 2 million, but there are other allowances which can keep someone's salary increase, and they are not taxed. Some of them, they are not taxed. So the other one we can talk about is the third one. They are saying all employees are entitled to medical allowance of 60,000 each month, except for Odong Mike, meaning it's only Odong Mike who is not going to receive the medical insurance of the 60,000. Then the fourth one is saying all employees are entitled to the bonus of 10% of the pay worked for. If they say 10% of the pay worked for, it means it is the amount of money they have actually earned, meaning it will be the normal pay, then the overtime pay, then we get 10% of the total, what they got in terms of the basic pay, what they got in terms of the overtime, we add them, we take 10% of it. Then the fifth one is saying only 2 people, Mwanga Loy and Phil Charles, are entitled to transport allowance of 120,000 each month, meaning it's only these two. When it comes to the transport allowance, we are supposed to allocate for only these 2 people. They are the one who is supposed to receive the 120,000 per month. Remember, this account, this payroll we are preparing, it is a monthly payroll. If it was for if they had told you to calculate for for the pay that is supposed to be paid to these guys, let's say in 1 year's time, then you would be multiplying everything times 12. But if they are saying, if they are just giving us a monthly figures and they want everything in monthly figures, we are not going to multiply anything. We are just going to take them the way they are. Then the other one we can talk about, the sixth one is saying payee, that is pay as you earn, to be deducted at a rate of 15% of the gross wage. Meaning when you get the gross pay, you will take 15% and it's supposed to be deducted as an income tax. Then the seventh is saying NSSF contribution to be deducted amounts to 70,000 for every employee. Here now they have not given you the percentages, but they may give you the percentages or they may just give you the figure. Here they have given us 70,000. Even if it is not the 5%, you leave it. You go with what they have given you. Then the eighth one is saying, assuming that the standard hours per month were 260 hours. That is the standard, the one that they have set that each employee is supposed to at least to work within that range. This one I added it because I wanted to explain something about the loan scheme and the house schemes. And let's flip into these videos and we see how we can try to compute this payroll. I made some analysis, as you can see there. Here we are seeing that we have the number of hours. I just copied these ones from the question. I pasted them here. Then as the question was saying, because they were giving us the normal hours, which we are supposed to be following, and you can kick off, you can give it a title, you can highlight there, you add another cell, you can add another row, and we call it a payroll, give it a title, payroll for the month of September 2020. That's what they had given us. So you can highlight this one. You can try to highlight so that you merge it if you want. You can stop here. Then we merge it so that it is, can make it broad a bit, increase, you can even increase the font size. I think there will be enough. Hope everyone can see. Okay, now I wanted to minimize this and allow me to remove this one because this one is not going to be used anymore, because I'm seeing if I leave it there, then the net pay here is not going to be seen. So allow me to delete this one so that we get enough space, we can be seeing everything from here. Okay. Can now go on with, this one has disappeared, sorry. Can try to type in, can try to put in, you said it's a payroll. Payroll for the month of September 2020. Yeah, from there we are getting at least something. Yeah, it's back now. I can even highlight these ones so that you can see them. I can highlight those ones. I hope there you can be seeing everything. So allow me kick off and I take you through these computations and we see how we can improve in our areas. Okay, they told us that the normal working hours per month, they are 19,000 hours. It means those are the workers, those are the number of hours every employee is supposed to work for. So it will be 190. So you can double click here so that everything is filled. So here we can go ahead and compute our net, our basic pay, because we've got the number of hours we've worked for, we've got the hourly rate, we have the advances, we have our column, the column for normal hours, then we have the column for basic pay and overtime. These are overtime hours. The reason why I put them here because I just want when I'm typing, I never wanted to put them somewhere because I wanted to at least for everyone to be following, but I know you guys, you can do this. It is very easy. And the other one is overtime pay. Then we have the bonus. We have the housing allowance. We have the medical allowance. We have the transport allowance, gross pay, our pay, NSSF, total deductions, then finally our net pay. So we can go ahead and compute. I said, whenever you are making any calculation within Excel, you start with an equal sign. And we are saying that the basic pay is going to be our normal hours multiplied by the hourly rate. We shall be getting what each employee is supposed to get. But they say this one is normal, meaning that amount is supposed to be uniform to every employee. Everyone is supposed to work for those hours. That's why you are seeing the amount, they are the same because they are the same hours everyone is supposed to work for, and they are the same, they are at the same rate per hour. So we can compute our overtime, but our overtime here, what we are computing the overtime in terms of hours. We want to first know the hours we've spent, then we can, from there, we can multiply by our hourly rate so that we can be able to get everything. Said we get the equal sign, which will be this, the number of hours we've taken. These are the number of hours every employee has worked for. This one worked for 220. So if those are the hours, but they told us that our normal working hours, they're supposed to be 190 hours. So we deduct, when it will be the number of hours worked, that is B3 minus the normal hours, which will give us 30 hours. If you deduct the 220 minus the 190, you'll be getting 30 hours. You double click. This one is not going to be earning, Ivan is not going to be earning overtime because the number of hours, the number of hours that we are supposed to work for, he actually did the same hours. So he spent only 190 hours, and those are the ones worked for. That's why here it is a 0. So we said that the overtime rate, they told us that the overtime rate they told us here that the overtime rate and the overtime pay for an extra hour at a rate of 5% above the normal rate, meaning if the normal rate was 10,000, you will get 50% of it, then you add it back. It will be the same way like saying cosine, you make it, instead of we taking the one, we shall take the 100, that is the 100%, we add the 50. It will be 150% times the hourly rate, the normal hourly rate. Then from there we shall be getting the 15,000. Then you can double click here because it is uniform for every employee. If you see this one is a bit challenging, you can just get the 50% of the 10,000, whereby you'll be getting 5,000. You add back to the 10,000 to make it 15,000. So when you are computing for the overtime pay, we get the time we've spent, which is above the normal hours, then we multiply by the overtime rate, which will be 30 times the 15,000. And press enter, we shall be getting 450,000. Can press double click so that you get everything. That's why here you're seeing the person, this person earned zero overtime because we worked exactly the same hours that were allocated for. Then we go for the bonuses. They told us that bonuses, they told us here, additional information number for all employees are entitled to 5% bonus, to 10% bonus, 10% bonus of the pay worked for. The pay worked for is these are the number of hours someone has worked. So we want to find out how much is it for the person who has worked for 220 hours. And to get that, we need to add the basic pay we've got in the normal hours, then we add it to our overtime so that we can get the total earning as per the bonus requirement, because the bonus requirement is 10% of the pay worked for what you've worked for. Then it will be, we shall just say equals, you can open brackets, and we say it will be the basic pay, that is F3 plus the overtime pay, which is I3. When you've got that, you can close the bracket and say multiply by 10%. 10%. Then from there, you'll be getting a total of 235,000. Then you can double click there so that you get for the rest. When you've got that, then there we can proceed to our housing allowance. And in the question they said, Odong and Yeko Sandra are entitled to housing allowance of 150 each, and the rest are entitled at shillings 80,000 per month. So it is only Odong and Yeko Sandra that are going to be receiving the 150, the rest are going to receive 80,000. We said Odong, this one is going to receive 150,000, and Yeko Sandra is receiving 150,000. So if those ones are receiving that, it means these ones, they are going to be receiving 18. So that's, these ones are receiving 8,000. If it is 80,000, you can scroll here so that you fill these ones. Here you fill the 80,000. Yeah, that one is done. Then you go for the medical. Medical, they said, medical allowance, they said all employees are entitled to medical allowance of 60,000 each per month, except Odong Mike, meaning it's only Odong Mike who is not going to receive that medical allowance. So it means they are receiving 60,000 per month. Can drag here, but they told us this one, Odong Mike, it's not supposed to receive that, so it's supposed to receive 0. So we go to transport. Transport allowance, they said, transport allowance is that they said only Kafeo Chaus and Mwanga Loy, they are the one who's entitled to transport allowance of 120,000. 120,000, that's for, said Mwanga and Chaus. So this one is entitled to 120,000 and Chaus. This one is also entitled 120,000. These ones, they are supposed to receive 0. Supposed to receive 0. So let's compute our gross pay. And to get our gross pay, as you hear the word, it says it is a gross, meaning we are adding all the basic pay plus other bonuses and allowances we've received. This gross, it is the amount, the summation of the basic pay, the bonuses, and other allowances that are given to the employee without deducting without removing the deductions. So it will be the basic pay plus the overtime pay plus the bonus plus the allowance plus the medical plus the transport allowance. So you press enter and you'll be getting 2 million, and double click there so that you can fill everything. Then we go to the payee. They gave us in the payee that payee is supposed to be deducted at a rate of 15% of the gross pay. So every employee is supposed to be deducted 15%. So we go and we check the cosine, we say 15%, that is 15% multiply by our gross pay. Press enter. Then you can double click. That one is done. We compute for the NSSF. They told us that NSSF contribution to be deducted an amount of 70,000 shillings for every employee. So it means here we are charging 70,000 every person. So if it is 7,000, you can double click there so that you can get that. Then when we go to the deductions, we said deductions, we added the statutory deductions and the non-statutory deductions. Some non-statutory deductions, I've said some of them may be a salary loan, which is deducted on someone and on someone's salary from the source. It can be a lunch allowance that is deducted if, let's say, some employees are entitled to lunch allowance or they are supposed to receive lunch from their work and on that lunch they are receiving, they are contributing something towards that package. And others which are supposed to be made at source or by the employer. So it will be, we shall start with our advances. This is the money that was picked before the month ended. Plus, we add the pay plus the NSSF. Those are the only deductions we have. Then you press enter. When you've got that, you can double click here so that you get everything that is filled. Then the last one is the net pay. Net pay, as you hear the word, it is the gross pay minus the total deductions. When you remove the whole of those deductions, then what remains there is what the person is supposed to receive on the account. Then it will be equal sign gross pay minus our total deduction. Then we press enter. Find that someone is remaining. Double click there. You find that for this one person, for Mwanga Loy, is remaining with only 1,868,250, of which someone is saying we are paying you 2,845,000, but when the money reaches the account, you find it is only this 1,868,250. Meaning, if it wasn't this advance that was deducted of 480, this person was supposed to receive this plus this advance. That's the money, because this one this amount, the person took it before the month ended. So that's how it is, and that's how we compute that. But the other part I've added, allow me to talk about it a bit in this part 8, because we have finished everything from here. Now we can even save, Control S. When we save, we can go ahead and finish this one. It's saying, assuming that the standard hours per month were 260 hours. Then they are saying calculate the house away scheme and the house scheme plus the loan scheme. These ones we can, let me just put them here because I'm seeing the other side, they may not fit there. So allow me push a bit here, small like that. At least you'll be seeing the net pay. Can say for the house scheme, the house scheme. These are methods. These are methods that are used by different organizations to pay bonuses to individuals, leave alone this bonus you are seeing here, but they can also compute these bonuses, because these bonuses most of the times they base on the number of hours someone has spent on work. They set a standard hour that someone is supposed to take this, and when you find that you've incurred more than what you are expected, then of course they will take here. We are saying that this one, it is a bonus scheme. For it, it says that if you are supposed to give someone a bonus on the time he has saved, because what happens here is that when people are working, they give them a standard hour or a standard rate to a standard hours that the work is supposed to be done. When someone gets or does the work before the time that is set, they pay them something. Actually, these schemes, they are just opposite to the overtime. This overtime for them, this overtime for them, you work above, like you exceed your normal working hours and they pay you for that. But this one, it's a scenario whereby you've saved the time, the company has benefited, because when you save time, first of all, you may deliver the work they want you to finish in a short period of time. When you do that, then they expect that they can appreciate you, because if they were to spend those more hours, they could be putting a lot of money. Like here, we are saying that they assume that the standard hours that was set within the organization, they were 260 hours to finishing the job. But you find most of these employees, you are seeing them here, they did the job before these normal hours. So what we do, if let's say I'm computing for this one, let's say I'm computing for Roy, it will be 260. Now we are trying to compute the time saved. 260 minus the time someone taken, or what someone took. You said when you are putting, you start with equal sign, it is 260 minus the 2, which will give us 40 hours. It means this person is saved 40 hours. And these 40 hours, those 40 hours are valued at the same rate, because they have not given us another rate, the same rate of 10,000. Now this 10,000, if you want to compute how much this person can receive on bonus, it will be, we shall say equal sign, it will be the 40 times the 10,000, press enter. It will be 400,000. But this 400,000, that will be the exact amount that the company should have paid for these extra 40 hours. But Hausa scheme, for it, it says that if, let's say, the person has saved that time, we shall get the time saved times the time rate, then we divide that one by 2, or we get 50%. The person is supposed to be paid 50%. The person is supposed to be paid 50% of that amount that was saved. It will be 50% times the 40,000, meaning that this person, on top of this money he has got, this 1.8, this one will be added as an extra payment for saving the time. That's the house scheme. If you go to the lower, to the house bonus scheme, this is the house scheme. Then there is house aware, as they said, house aware scheme. This one, for it, it says, for the house aware scheme, for it, it says that on this amount that the person has saved, we are paying him only 75%. That 75%, which is 75% of the amount that the person has saved the organization, it is what they give to the person. Or you can take it as 1/3. It will be 1/3 times the amount we've saved. So we are saying this one is paying us 130. 133,333.3. This is the money that would have been paid to this person. What you get from these formulas, the formulas, if you want the formulas are given. Formula we have, it is 1/2 times, open bracket, the time saved times the timely rate, the time rate. That is for this one, for house scheme. That's how we pay the bonus. Then for this one is 1/3 times, and you can open bracket, the time saved, times the time rate. And to get our time saved will be equal to the time allowed, you can call it allowed, or the standard time minus the time taken. So for each of that, when you get the time taken, it's what we got here. We got, this was the 260, that was the standard time, that is the time allowed, minus the time taken. We took 220. So we remained with this 40. This 40 is the time saved. Then we multiplied it by the time rate, which was 10,000, and we got 400,000. So when we divide this one by 2, we shall be getting 200,000. Then this one, the answer, we got the 400, we divide it by 3. Okay, then we can go to law 1. For law 1, this law 1 says, law 1 scheme, for it gives us the time we've saved. It will be the time saved times the time rate, then we multiply by the time taken, and this is, the whole of this is over, the whole of that is over the time, around. So that's how it is. So to get the law 1, it will be our time saved. We said we saved 40 hours. It will be 40 hours. Let me put an cosine 40 hours. Or we can say it is this times the time rate, which is that. Then we multiply by the time we've taken that. Then this one is, all of it is over. Let me put some brackets. Then we can proceed and we say over the time allowed. Remember, our time allowed was 260 hours. So you press enter. So this scheme will be paying this person. Remember, don't forget when you click, you can check the formulas, they are up here. This one is supposed to give this person 338,461.5. That's the money that scheme would give to that person who has saved 40 hours. Then it will be the same. You keep multiplying, you get the 200. If you go to this next employee, you go to the 260 minus the 2. If you go for another person, it will be the 260 minus the 250, the time the person has spent. Then you go like that and you put in the same formula so that you can get everything. So allow me stop here for today. I hope you guys have benefited. Let me try to make this one a bit, I highlight it. Now make this one's become a bit broad. Can try to put our currency signs if you want. Can put currency signs, Control A, so that we make at least we put some borders, all borders, and you can also try to put in the currency. If you want the currency, you get here, you can check and put the commas. At least you put the commas to separate some of the things. This one happens because the space is a bit small, but if you adjust, it will come back. So we put the commas where necessary and we put the separators. So I hope that one can help you guys. And that's all for today. Thank you. Until we meet again. But maybe to put back for you to copy the question again for some 2 minutes so that you can be having some time of copying the question. Thank you.